Yeah, the funny thing about that is most patients probably will never know that I'm a published author, and that I've published research, and that I'm involved in education as much as I have. It really started early on in my career. I actually built a website back in those days, really to provide patients a resource for the most current research as it relates to the kinds of things that I was seeing in the clinic. So originally it was, a website. It was kind of a blog back in those days, really to educate patients around that. I actually published my first book back in about 2010, and just last year published. Can never get this right on this screen. Right there, published "How to Build a Badass Firefighter," which really goes into the science behind the research behind the EMI, the Athletic Movement Index, which is the 3D wearable sensor technology that we developed. Goes into what does each individual movement mean, how do you interpret that, how do you create programming to change that, and it's really a guide for clinicians. I had physicians read the book. I've had chiropractors and physical therapists and athletic trainers and strength coaches who've found that valuable. And really helping to truly understand human movement, and more importantly, how we change human movement as a whole. I've also published over seven peer-reviewed journal papers from original research. I'm still actively involved in research. The Athlete Lab, that's one of the things that is very important for me for the Athlete Lab, is that we will constantly be involved in research. I have some research partners, Faulkner University, Tufts University, Vanderbilt University, who we are actively working on research projects with. I also am an adjunct faculty member at Northern Arizona University, at Tufts University, and Faulkner University, really as a part of the DPT program, or the Doctoral Physical Therapy programs, teaching them about human movement, about what we know about the EMI, information that we've gained from that, treating combat athletes, all that kind of stuff. And I have developed three certification courses that collectively, all three of those, we have certified over 1,000 clinicians. That's chiropractors, athletic trainers, physical therapists, strength coaches, in different areas. One is on blood flow restriction training, which if you're a patient or a client of mine, you'll see or you'll experience blood flow restriction training. I actually have a certification course through Northeastern Seminars and the University of Tennessee that we do that with. I've got a certification course in the EMI teaching clinicians, really, quite honestly, all over the world. I've taught clinicians in Australia and in Brazil and in the US on the Athletic Movement Index, and certifying them in being a provider of the EMI. And then just recently, we just launched a new certification course on treating the combat athlete. My goal with that one was really to provide, to help to advance the medical community's understanding of treating mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's one of the fastest growing sports in the US, and there's very little knowledge, very little education out there for clinicians and physicians on what is the sport, what are the submissions, what are the anatomical stresses with those positions and things like that. So a big part of my career has been centered around providing education, whether that's through authoring books, whether it's through peer-reviewed journals, or it's through certification courses. Podcasts, I do a ton of podcasts. You'll see on my website, I've made available several different podcasts that we've done over the years, just on various different topics. Really, again, to be a source of education for our clinicians, as well as our athletes and our parents. So, education is a big part of what I do. And one of the things that you'll see is that as a client, I tend to use education a lot. I like people to know the why behind why I'm asking you to do what you do. What I found over my career is that when people understand, they are much more likely to do the things that I ask them to do.